Hello, I'm Jason with CodeLearner.com. In this lesson, we're going to learn about floating point numbers and how to do math with floating point numbers. Now, if you remember in the previous few sections, we've dealt with integer variables. So if we want to define a variable that contains the number 5, I might have an int and I call the variable Jason, and later on I can assign the number 5 to the variable Jason. Integers are basically whole numbers. That's all they can do. They don't have any knowledge of decimal points or anything like that. You can't put the number 2.5 into an integer. So what if you have to do some manipulations or calculations with decimal points? Or if you just need to store decimal point numbers into variables? Well, you need to have a different variable type for that. And the most common one that you're going to use in Java is going to be called double. Now, the reason it's called a double is kind of beyond the scope of this discussion, but if you look up here in the comments, the double is a 64-bit number, and it can hold numbers with decimal points. It's really all you need to know. So for my advice is that for every program you write, if you need a decimal point, you declare it as a double. Now, as we get later on into the course, we're going to learn that there are different types of variables that can hold decimal points. Basically, they're just different number of bits. And the reason that you care about that is because, of course, if you define a million variables that are each 64 bits long, it's going to take up more memory in your computer. If your numbers are not that, if you don't have a need for that many numbers after the decimal point, then you can choose from some of Java's other floating point representations, and you can get away with a 32-bit number and so on. So that's kind of getting beyond the scope of what I want to discuss here. I just want to let you know there are other kinds of variables that can store decimal points. The one that you need to be concerned about right now is this one. It's the most common one that you're going to use, especially on modern computers with tons and tons of memory. All right, so it is called a double. You declare it by putting the keyword double in front. And in this case,